Welcome back. I am still here with David Oman. David, we talked about some of your experiences when you were younger, um, connected to the Manson family. Now, there is a significant date coming up, and you are living in a place that holds, as we mentioned, some historic significance to that date. Remind us one more time what that is, and then tell us how you acquired the home you're living in.
Yeah, what the date is August 8th, midnight into August 9th, the early morning hours, the Sharon Tate murders took place where five people were brutally murdered by the members of the Manson family. Um, and this was done at the request of Charles Manson, I believe, and still to this day believe. And it's basically 51 years ago, and it was Sharon Tate, an up-and-coming film star. Abigail Folger, heirs to the Folger coffee empire. Wojciech Frykowski, who was friends with Abigail Folger, and was friends with her fiance. Jay Sebring, Sharon Tate's former fiance and dear friend. And there was an 18-year-old high school graduate who was there named Stephen Parent.
Mm-hmm.
And those were the five individuals. And Sharon Tate was 8.5 months pregnant and stabbed multiple times.
Mm-hmm. And as you mentioned earlier, this thing that happened now, you're out in LA. I'm over here in North Georgia. I remember when Helter Skelter came on and I was a little girl and I just saw a little bit of it, but it literally traumatized me. It is one of those things that is just, well, practically demonic, really, in that it was beyond horrific. So now you find yourself living 150 yards or feet
Yeah.
from the house that I believe it was 10050 Cielo Drive.
Yeah.
So how did this happen?
Um, God, about 21 years ago 22 years ago, 1998, late November, on a Sunday morning, my father called me up at 8 o'clock and woke me up out of a deep sleep and told me to get my ass up and to go meet him at this piece of real estate that he found. And it was a foreclosure. And it was a lot in Beverly Hills for $40,000. And I was like, $40,000? You gotta be kidding me. It's 40. And he said, yeah. He goes, meet me. And I was like, Dad, it's probably a misprint. He goes, no, just trust me, it's real. And about a half an hour later, I was up here at the lot. And I'm looking down the street and I'm thinking, oh my God, that's where the Sharon Tate murders took place. Now, when were looking at the property in 1998, the Tate house had been destroyed some 4 years earlier. So there was nothing there but a chain link fence at the end of the driveway. And the fact of the matter was that when we saw that, I was like, I immediately recognized it, just like clicked in my head and I clinked. I said, oh my God. And because I was here in 1978 and 79 in high school, we always used to go up here. But the funny thing is that somebody else was always leading the way and I never paid attention to the route. And after that time, I never was able to find this street. Mind you, there are only 3 private drives up here, but I never made my way all the way up here for whatever reason until that fateful day in November of 1998. So it's been 21 and a half years now I've been here. I mean, since we bought the lot. And people say, oh, you were interested in the Sharon Tate murders? And it's like, it literally fell into my lap. It wasn't like I was a devotee and I had to be close to the Sharon Tate murders. It's like,
Sure.
No, it just was a financial windfall for us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what it was. We picked it up, and during construction, strange things were happening. And my contract laborer said to me, have you moved some of the tools around from the day before? And it's like, no, I haven't moved the tools around. I said, what, are you crazy? He goes, no, seriously. I said, because we had some stuff on the 3rd floor, and it's not there anymore, and it was an air hammer, and this, and I'm going, later on, they found it one of the other floors in what was going to be a closet. I'm like, no way. He goes, oh, yeah, strange stuff like that. And I had my own feelings during the construction that it was like I would be walking around the different levels, and it would be like just sensing somebody's presence behind you. I was like, yeah, Jose, what? Jose? What the? And no one would be there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an uncanny feeling of just almost not somebody breathing, but just that energy where you could just feel somebody just like right there. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yeah, what? Nothing.
Now you had you told me before you had an incident, and was it when you were sleeping? Are you comfortable with sharing that story?
Oh yeah. Yes, I'm comfortable with sharing stories about when I'm sleeping. No, what happened was I was in bed, and this is in 2004 in summer, about, as a matter of fact, it's about now. And my girlfriend at the time was flying through it was a flight attendant flying the European route, and my mom was dying of cancer. And I put my head in the pillow and I looked and it said 1:35. And I drifted off to sleep. And for some reason, my eyes popped open. Like what felt like hours later, which only turned out to be several minutes. I looked at the clock and it says 1:37. It's like, God, I feel like I've been asleep for hours. And I'm yawning. And I'm looking at this, my head starts to turn towards the foot of the bed, and I see this full body apparition of a guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at this guy and I'm thinking, what the hell is this? And I'm sitting there staring at this guy, and he's standing there, literally full body. And he's got his arm, I can't get you in the whole frame, but I'll show you what I'm trying to do. He's got his arm sticking out like this, and he's pointing, and he's full body, standing there, and he's facing, he's facing the window, but he's turning towards a quarter turn, and he points towards what I then thought was going down the driveway. He was pointing towards the driveway. So I'll just tell you that's how the story plays out. So he does this 3 times, and I'm looking at him and I'm soaking it all in, and this lasts for maybe 5 seconds, and then boom, he's gone.
Wow.
And it wasn't like he was rapidly spinning like this. He just went this and then back with it. And the only part that was moving was from his waistline up.
Mm-hmm.
He was wearing a 60s style, I keep on forgetting this double-breasted, single-breasted suit with a short lapel and 4 buttons, I remember. And he was all in shades of gray. And what I mean by that, his hair color was this charcoal gray, dark black, almost gray.
Mm-hmm.
His skin was this iridescent blue gray. Now, I'm looking at this guy, and his hair is kinky, like I have straight hair, if you can see, but
Yeah.
kinky hair, parted to the side, and it's dark, almost black, but it's grayish black, and his skin is this iridescent blue. He doesn't show any signs of damage, meaning if he was cut or when he died, if he had bullets through him, he didn't look like he had any sort of trauma, no issue, no visible signs of trauma. He was life-size, and then he vanished. And I just woke up, I sat up, and I said, what was that all about? I said, what, my mom's dead? I said, did she die of cancer? I said, my girlfriend, would she have a problem with her European route flying over the continent? I said, what? And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know. So I got up out of bed and I spent the next hour pacing upstairs and trying to figure it out and wrap my mind around what I just saw, and thinking to myself, I just saw my first apparition. I said, this is great. I said, yeah, but what did it mean? What did it mean? I thought it was an emissary ghost coming to tell me that my mother had died. As it turned out at 8 in the morning when I called my folks' house, my mom was fine. And 2 days later, I got a call from my girlfriend, and she was fine. And I was at the LAPD doing some research for my book. Oh, great opportunity. Yeah, no crap. This book,
Mm-hmm.
that's right, Ghosts of Cielo Drive, and that's got Sharon Tate, Jack Johnson, the first African-American heavyweight champion of the world, and of course, Rudolph Valentino, whose house is across the way. And the book is Ghosts of Cielo Drive, The Afterlife of Sharon Tate, and the Spirits of the Oman House.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing research for this book way back when, 15, 16 years ago. Let's just be honest, books take a long time to write. And I'm doing this research to see what photographs are existing in the crime scene, photographs of this lot in 1969, thinking that perhaps they dropped a knife or some article of clothing or left something on this property back in '69.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally was granted access, and I went down there and I was looking through the photographs of Sharon's murders. And there's a police officer in this small little room, the review room, so I can apply for the removal of the photographs to be copied, etc. And I found a picture that I just said, "Oh my God!" I said, "That's Jay. That's him." I said, "Who is it?" I flipped the picture over, and it says Jay Sebring with his natural hairstyle. And I said, "Oh my God, that's him." And I found out that Jay, being a hairstylist, had naturally kinky hair. And he basically liked to basically put hair relaxant in it. And he created this chemical to take kinky hair and to make it relax so that he could put it across and use it as straight hair, because it was a big thing in the 60s. And that was the image of the man that I saw in my bedroom some 7 or 8 months earlier.
Wow, David, you have so many fascinating stories and experiences behind you. I'm going to invite you back for sure. Unfortunately, we're out of time now. So I know, right? It's never enough.
Just one thing. We have the live event here at the house on the 21st and 22nd of August.
Mm-hmm.
You can get your tickets at the Oman, O-M-A-N, house.com. It'll be 2 days of 8 hours streaming with interviews, ghost investigation, seance, and question and answer interactive with the people that are watching.
Well, I'm going to share more information. And again, David, thank you. And the rest of you, I'll see you next time.
Thank you very much. Take care, Connie.
This episode of The Talk with Connie is brought to you in part by Dalton Ghost Tours, a 90-minute exploration of Dalton, Georgia's legendary past and haunted present. Tours will be offered every Friday and Saturday night, August through October. Visit Dalton Ghost Tours on Facebook. Thanks for watching.